The competitive landscape is characterized by increasing globalization, advanced technological development, and other factors that will lead to an environment that is more dynamic and charged with rivalry. Firms will act and react in a dance of sorts, but one involving very high stakes, even survival. This chapter introduces terms and concepts relevant to the conversation about competitive behavior in a variety of markets. Figure 5.2 is central to the discussion of most of this chapter. A strategy's success is determined by not only the firm's initial competitive actions, but also by how well it anticipates competitors' responses to them and by how well the firm responds to its competitors' initial actions, called attacks. Some important definitions that you need to understand for this chapter are: firms operating in the same market with similar products targeting similar customers are called competitors. Competitive rivalry is the ongoing set of competitive actions and competitive responses occurring between rivals as they compete against each other for an advantageous market position. Competitive behavior is the set of competitive actions and competitive responses the firm takes to build or defend its competitive advantages and to improve its market position. Firms competing against each other in several product or geographic markets are in a multi-market competition. All competitive behavior, that is, the total set of actions and responses taken by all firms competing within a market, is called competitive dynamics. Firms must learn to compete differently if they are to achieve strategic competitiveness. To provide an idea of what this means, new ways of competing may include the following: bringing new goods and services to market more quickly, the use of new technologies like Amazon.com, diversifying the product line like Barnes & Noble did as they moved into music as a catalyst for growth, shifting product emphasis, U-Haul's focus now on accessory sales, or consolidation, the merger of HP and Compaq a few years back, and combining online selling with physical stores, for example, Sears' acquisition of Land's End. The focus of this chapter is on competitive dynamics, the series of competitive actions and competitive responses among firms competing within a particular industry. The implication that should be strongly stated is the strategic management process, as described in Chapter 1, Figure 1.1, is dynamic and not static. Figure 5.1 is going to be a key figure in this chapter. This figure features the key concepts involved in competitive dynamics, which refers to the total set of actions and responses taken by all the firms competing in a given market, as mentioned previously. Expanding geographic scope contributes to the increasing intensity in competitive rivalry among firms. That is, firms trying to predict competitive rivalry should anticipate that they will meet a larger number of increasingly diverse competitors in the future. Thus, competitive rivalry will affect their strategies more than in the past. Competitive rivalry exists when firms jockey with one another to pursue an advantageous market position. When one or more firms competing in an industry feels pressure to act or perceives an opportunity to improve their competitive position, competitive rivalry occurs as various firms initiate a series of actions and responses. Research findings showing that intensified rivalry within the industry results in decreased average profitability for firms competing in it and supports the importance of understanding these effects. Viewing the model 5.2 leads to a number of observations. Interfirm rivalry or competitive dynamics begins with a competitive analysis in terms of market commonality and resource similarity. Market commonality and resources similarity affect the drivers of competitive behavior, a firm's awareness, motivation, and ability to attack or respond. Attack and responses to attack result in competitive outcomes, market position, and financial performance. Feedback from competitive outcomes will affect future competitive dynamics. Competitive rivalry exists because of competitive asymmetry. which describes the fact that firms differ from one another in terms of their resource capabilities, core competencies, and the opportunities and threats in their competitive environments and industries. It is important that firms see the competition results in mutual interdependency among firms in the industry as each firm strives to establish a sustainable competitive advantage. As firms strive to achieve strategic competitiveness and above-average returns, they must recognize that strategies are not deployed in isolation from rivals' action and responses. Also, the strategic management process represents firms taking a series of actions, fending off counteractions or responses, and developing responses of their own.